The following program is a podcast1.com production. He started in a small town in Texas. Worked his ass off to become one of the most famous wrestlers of all time.
We're going to take care of business tonight, and that's the bottom line.
And now he's dominating the world of on-demand audio. And he's doing it for the working man.
This is a damn good outlet for me to spew the bullshit off my brain.
Yeah! This is the Steve Austin Show. Unleashed. Unleashed.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Steve Austin Show. I am coming to you from the main streets of Agua Dulce, California, where I'm rolling around with Hershey the Wonder Dog in my vehicle. Out here attempting, once again, a total one-man clusterfuck. We are on day 2 of filming the Broken Skull Challenge. Y'all know I rolled out here the other day. I set up my base camp. I got my trailer. I got my weights. I got all my bullshit hooked up. I'm rocking and ready to go. They came in and installed a high-speed internet system. After about a day and a half, it wasn't really a high-speed internet system. It was more like I could take that chip from my Zoom H4n recorder, tape it to the back of the snail, and send it over to Stacy at Beverly Hills. Except I told you guys this story last time. The internet speed is a little bit faster, so this would be a snail on PEDs carrying the chip back to Stacy. So the motherfucker would be moving a cunt hair faster than the non-PED snail would be moving. Anyway, I'm driving down the road. I was up there at my damn camper trying to get this podcast done. And this is going to be one of them ones where I'm just shooting the breeze with you guys. And, hey, man, while I'm talking about you guys, I hope this podcast finds you doing well. Right out here where we're filming, it's 84 degrees. It's hot when the sun's directly on you. Absolutely beautiful conditions. Got some bust-ass athletes out here killing it at the Broken Skull Challenge. It's been a good day. It's just so damn frustrating when you come out here and you've got work to do out there. And I just found something out. Last season, we filmed 6-day work weeks, 1 day off, just like we did Redneck Island. And it's funny because you got 6 days to work. Well, my podcast also takes 2 days a week. So that's 8 days out of 7 that I'm working. So anyway, I just got the damn good news that we're actually off. Let me roll that back window up so you guys can't hear all that racket. Hershey likes to stick her head out the door while I'm driving around. But anyway, back to the story at hand. This time on Broken Skull Challenge, I've got Saturdays and Sundays off. I got 2 actual consecutive days off where I can actually go into town and get some work done in Los Angeles. The total reason for staying out here on location is to avoid the commute. Like I said on the podcast last week, swig of water for the working man and working woman who are driving in their cars every day. I get emails all the time to questions at steveaustonshow.com and say, hey, Steve, you make my drive to and from work a lot easier. Well, now, you know what? I get it. And so that's why I stay out here in the middle of nowhere. I get up, I do my prep, I go over, the rules and regulations of the challenges that I'm going to put these guys and gals through, do my paces. And normally, what we're doing out here, we normally start filming. I probably got to get out of my trailer and go to set by about 8:30 a.m. on many days, sometimes a little bit later than that. And then we will actually film till about sundown every other day, which sundown out here in California at this time of the year is about 6 p.m. So normally that one day we're working close till dark. And then the next day, I'll probably work a little bit shorter day, but it'll be intermittent with times when I'm down into my trailer, then back to set, and then back in my trailer. So it's kind of a hit and miss thing where you're actually busy all day. And it is what it is. It's hard to get anything else done with respect to work, i.e., example, this podcast. And you know what I've been doing out here? I'm going to send you guys a picture on my Twitter account of my little gym setup out here. I've got like a little rectangular tented area over my power rack. I think I have about 350 pounds of barbells. I've got those 30, 50s, and 70s on my dumbbells. So after all the work is done, at about 8 p.m., when it's kind of cooled off a little bit out here from being so hot, I'll take my little jam box out there, crank up the Black Label Society playlist, and I'll go through my workout. And I'm out there anywhere from 30 to about 60 minutes every single night, hitting it hard in the gym. I tell you what, I've been talking to you guys about trying to drop some LBs, and I'm hot and heavy right in the midst of that. And I'm also been talking to you guys about being in the beer business, trying to come up with a recipe for beer. So I was doing my fair share of beer drinking. And it's funny because we was out there filming Redneck Island in Hartwell, Georgia, and I actually filmed a commercial for Wendy's, the Barbecue for America and Barbecue for Canada campaigns. And the wardrobe guy put me in a gray shirt for that damn commercial. Well, folks, at my tonnage when I filmed that commercial, I had no business wearing gray. You will not find a gray shirt in my entire clothing closet experience. Homie don't wear gray because it's not very flattering on my midsection at the time. And of course, like I said, on top of being too heavy, I got the damn bad habit of never tightening my damn diaphragm. So that was like a rib. I will never, ever shoot another commercial with a gray shirt on. The least flattering color you could have put on my ass. Vince always tells me, Steve, I like it when you wear blue. And this is coming from Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWF, and the tough son of a bitch in his own right, and a guy who I had a lot of fun working with and doing business and shooting angles with. He goes, God damn it, Steve, that dark blue on you really makes your blue eyes stand out. And this is coming from, the chairman, owner, whatever you call it, the WWF, now E, talking to Stone Cold Steve Austin about how pretty his blue eyes are when he wears a blue shirt. So anyway, he should have stuck me in a blue shirt so people would focus on my pretty blue eyes rather than my drum. But my point is, out here at the Broken Skull Challenge, man, I've been cooked all my meals. I got them in a cooler. I am dead on my eating regimen. And beer and wine are totally off limits. I think the last time I had a beer was about 5 days ago. So right now, it's all about the numbers. In regards to cardio, every morning when I get up, when I feed Hershey, there's a dirt track right outside. There's a dirt track right outside my trailer over here. It's a flat track where these motorcycles race. So I'm guessing it's an 8th or a 16th, whatever the distance is. But I walk Hershey on that thing for about 30 minutes in the morning. And then at the evening time when I get off of work, I feed Hershey once again. I feed her twice a day. And then I get my walking stick and we go down and we walk the canyons through the Skull Buster and up to the back of the course where we have some more obstacles. It ends up being about a 2-mile walk. And this is basically a walk that's just normal pace. I'm not trying to push my cardio. It's more about letting Hershey get out and do her thing because she's been cooped up in the trailer all day. So I'm getting that 2-mile walk in every single day, a couple of laps in the morning. On top of that, on my feet all day, burning calories and not being sedentary. About 8 p.m., I'm in this tent, giving it a damn good workout. I'm not working out like a damn pussy anymore. I'm actually stoked up the intensity. So hopefully the pounds start shedding and that needle on my scale or those digits start heading south. Hershey, what do you got to say? Hershey's up here on the center console wondering when the hell we're going to get out of this damn Range Rover and go out there and fuck around. Hershey, you've been out here for 5 days. This is your second year out here. You always like to come out here with me because, when we live in Los Angeles, you're on a leash law. I got one of those retractable leashes, and you got about 26 feet until you hit the end of that slack. So out here, we ain't got no leash law, so you get a chance to do whatever the hell you want. And you run around like a damn banshee out there. You're sniffing around everything. You're running in the brush, chasing quail and birds and doing shit like that. And you can take a shit wherever you want. How do you feel about being out here versus Los Angeles? What she's saying is she loves it out here. Being a dog is fun, but when you're all cooped up, you got to get out and get some exercise. And that being said, I just got finished visiting with a lady at the hardware store out here in Agua Dulce. and they had picked up a stray dog on the side of the road. And, owning a dog is responsibility. When you decide that you want a dog, you've got to think long and hard about it, because you're making a 10 to 15-year commitment, or whatever that commitment is, to that animal, with respect to its health, its exercise, its medication, and all the good and bad and the love and joys and heartaches that goes with owning a dog. So Hershey is, I didn't mean to get off on a little rant there, but I'm sitting here in my damn Range Rover. I rode in through town, and what I did was, I normally go into the Sweetwater Cafe and get on the wireless internet, but the internet was down. That kind of happens out here when you're in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, I went over next door to the hardware store, and the lady there was nice enough to let me plug into the hardwire and get some questions that you guys have been sending in to questions@steveaustonshow.com. So I copied and pasted all those questions. I'm fixing to go into my trailer. I'm going to rock and roll. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm going to shoot the breeze. I also got a couple of off-the-wall bullshit stories that happened to me and my wife. I'll share those with you. I appreciate you tuning in and downloading the show. I got a lot of good questions. I got a couple good stories to tell you guys, but that's what it is. I'm out here at the Broken Skull Challenge putting my work in to draw a paycheck to pay those gimmicks that they send in the mail. It ain't no difference between you and me. You guys got to do your work. I got to do my work. We all got to pay the bills. Nobody gets off for free. And if you're able-bodied, you should be willing to be able to go out there and bust your ass and put in a hard day's work to pay for the things that you want and the things that you need to provide for your family. So we're all in this together. Then on top of that, you got to pay that motherfucker Uncle Sam, because if you don't pay his ass, he will come looking for you. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I'm going to shut her down right now, but before I shut her down, I got to give a little love to my sponsors. That includes Onnit, the company that makes the greatest supplements on planet Earth. They're the ones making my Alpha Brain. I take it every morning. It's a supplement that keeps me focused and razor sharp, the one that lets me open 2 cans of audio whoop ass for you each and every single week. But Onnit also makes tons of other great supplements, and if you go to onnit.com/Steve right now, you'll get 10% off your order. Onnit's got Shroom Tech Sport. Yeah, it will take your workout to a whole nother level. And if you're over 25 years of age, then you definitely need to pick up Onnit's T+. It's the best all-natural way to boost your testosterone. You're going to have more energy and motivation than you can check a stick at. And if it don't happen like that, you can get all your money back, no questions asked. Money back guarantee up in this mug. So go to onnit.com/Steve to get your 10% discount off all your supplements. What are you waiting for? Go now. That's onnit.com, onnit.com/Steve to get 10% off your order.
Hey, it's Chris Jericho. Check out Slipknot's Corey Taylor on Talk is Jericho. Not only is he the singer for one of the biggest rock bands in the world today, he's also a huge wrestling fan and has plenty to say about that experience, and also plenty to say about Slipknot's new record, the loss of his friend and bass player Paul Gray. Also sharing some of his crazier supernatural moments and ghost stories. You got to download Talk is Jericho now at podcast1.com. Check it out.
All right, everybody, here we go. Let me give you the lay of the land for you. I am sitting in my trailer right now at the Broken Skull Challenge. Hershey and I are on the couch here in the living room. I got a hot plate that was just delivered to me so I can cook my egg whites in the morning. It's an Oster brand solid single burner hot plate. I hope that son of a bitch heats up real good, because I got 3 dozen eggs, and I've been out here for 2 or 3 days now and ain't been able to eat my breakfast because my goddamn hot plate ain't been out here. Now, here's the thing. When you sign a contract to go do something and they say they're going to have you a hot plate, I don't hope the hot plate's going to be in the fucking camper. I'm expecting the hot plate to be in the fucking camper. So 3 days later, what I've been doing for my breakfast is I bought 3 rotisserie chickens out here from the supermarket we shop out there in Marina Del Rey, Gelson's. So for 3 mornings, I've been eating rotisserie chicken that I pick off that damn yard bird, and eat that for breakfast every morning. And that's fine and dandy. I'm happy to be having a nutritious meal full of protein. But what I like to eat for breakfast, what I prefer to eat for breakfast, is 12 scrambled egg whites, which I cook and scramble myself each and every single morning. Then I make a half a cup of oatmeal and get a couple of carbs, or just eat a banana and save my carbs for later. Told you guys I had my nutrition macros all dialed in, and I'm very strict when it comes to staying on my diet while I'm out here at the Broken Skull Challenge. Hopefully by the time I get down there to the Broken Skull Ranch for deer season, I'm about, 260 would be great. And since I brought up the Broken Skull Ranch, I got a goddamn story about you. Hey, Ted Fowler, I hope you're listening to today's podcast. If y'all want to follow Ted Fowler on Twitter, his Twitter handle is at TedFowler361. Now, Ted is a damn good friend of mine, and he does a lot of damn hard work out there at the Broken Skull Ranch. But Teddy, Jesus H. Christ on a popsicle stick, you just dropped both of us in the grease. Let me tell the people that listen to the SAS what happened. Teddy was down at the ranch doing work, and we got this area between the triple wide and the double wide called the pavilions. It's got 5 big-ass garage doors, which we open up, and we keep that open, when the weather's good, and it's just a nice place for shade and relaxation. I got a big screen TV on the wall to watch football, UFC, pro wrestling. We got a bar to sit there and drink cold beer, and we got a power rack from Elite FTS Fitness Systems. Got about 400 pounds of plates and dumbbells up to 100. That's where we do all our shit, our living, and our hanging out. And I also got a bunch of cool signs hanging out there from my sign collection. Well, anyway, back to the story. So Teddy was out there doing work, and it turns out there was a young rattlesnake in the pavilion. So caught Teddy off guard, and his German Shorthair, Tula, who just got back from bird training, stepped right over the snake. Luckily, Tula didn't get bitten. Anyway, so Ted, being the thinking man that he is, grabs his iPhone and videotapes the rattlesnake as he ushers it out of the pavilion with a stick or broomstick or some sort, and then I think he puts the rattlesnake out of commission in short fashion. But the thing about it is, Teddy, you texted this video to Kristen. Kristen, my wife, your good friend who hates rattlesnakes. Teddy, we have 3 dogs over here in the Austin family. You have 2 dogs, Tula and Cassie. So now that the rattlesnakes are in the pavilion, my wife says to me, well, there's no way that I'm going to have rattlesnakes in my yard. So now we got to look at getting a snake-proof fence, because we're not going to have rattlesnakes in the pavilion. So, Teddy, we might as well start hunting for a goddamn deer lease, mister, because if it's all said and done, I guess I put a for sale sign on the ranch because you found that damn rattlesnake, and it's one thing to find a rattlesnake, but it's a whole nother thing to send a video to my wife. You should have kept the rattlesnake on the DL, the down low, and not said a damn word. Jesus, Teddy, it got bad enough when I mentioned to her that you were feeding the alligators rabbits. Between the alligators and the rattlesnakes, Teddy, we're going to have to find a different place to hunt because the Broken Skull Ranch is fixing to have a for sale sign on it. Teddy, help a brother out. How in the flying hell am I going to put a snake-proof fence around my entire property? At least around the house, the compound, the area. I mean, I told my wife, I said, listen, the Broken Skull Ranch is 2,100 acres of wild South Texas brush. And Teddy, you know everything that grows out there will cut you, stick you, or hurt you. Now, on the other side of that, everything that grows out there is high in protein. So if you have good genetics in regards to your deer herd, which we do, and they eat said protein, you will have big bucks to hunt as long as you manage them and let them grow and take out your calls when you're supposed to. Teddy, we've been doing that going on this year close to 9 years. And it's all going to go to hell if you keep sending these rattlesnake videos to my illustrious wife, Kristen, because there ain't no way, Teddy, I can put a snake-proof fence around the Broken Skull Ranch. Between these rattlesnakes, the alligators down there at Lake Tombstone, and these rats that have been fucking around and chewing up everything with inside at the Broken Skull Ranch, Teddy, we got headaches, hassles, and horse shit galore. I don't know whether the shit or wind my watch. I got on the security camera the other day. You were gone. And sure enough, I saw that same gassed up rat out there popping wheelies on my Kawasaki KLX 450. And on top of that, he was riding without a helmet. Teddy, I got a rat out there on that damn power rack, bench pressing 450 pounds. Then he goes out there and jumps on my motorcycle and rides it without a helmet. Now watch this motherfucker. He's going to have a wreck, bust his fucking cabeza open, bust his head open. That's cabeza is head in Spanish. He's going to break his head open. Then he's going to find him a lawyer, and then he's going to sue me. And it's going to be my responsibility that he was riding my motorcycle on my property, that he broke his head, and then I'm going to lose my damn ranch. You're going to be out there working with a bunch of rats that are on steroids. Teddy, we've got to do something. We've got to instill a testing program. We've got to keep our mice and our rats clean and off the gas. If they want to ride my motorcycle, I guess we're going to have to get some little bitty baby-sized helmets for the motherfuckers so I don't get my ass sued. End of the day, Teddy, please do not send any more videos of rattlesnakes in the pavilion. Thank you very much. Let me move on to my next story. Hey, dig this, folks. The other day, my wife wanted me to go to a vegan restaurant with her because my wife is a vegetarian. Now, I've told you guys this before. I'd never met a vegetarian in person until I met my wife. And it was somewhat of a shock to me when I met her because I had never met a human being, much less a woman who I end up marrying, who did not eat meat. I hang around and live with carnivores, people who eat and chew meat, but not my wife. I think my wife ate meat until she was about 16 or 17 years old, and then she just never liked the texture of it, so she turned into a vegetarian. So anyway, there's a restaurant not too far from our house called Sage Organic Restaurant. And it's a vegan restaurant, so everything's vegan, whatever vegan actually means. And I told my wife, I said, sure, I go out and, eat a vegan meal with you. So, what the fuck? They got to have something on there that I can eat and kind of humor myself and go through the paces with my wife. Me being a global icon and a national treasure. Sure, man, I can skip meat for one meal and go hang out with my wife, and she just loves that place. So we get there, and we order the buffalo cauliflower as an appetizer. Now, the buffalo cauliflower is basically just cauliflower with buffalo sauce poured on top of it and then baked in an oven. And it was a pretty goddamn good buffalo cauliflower. I dug it. And then it came time to order. Well, man, me not being a vegetarian, not being vegan, me loving meat, there's not a goddamn thing to order in the restaurant that's meat. See, I thought like maybe they would have just a cunt hair's worth of meat things there. Like sometimes when you go to a regular restaurant, they actually have vegetarian items specifically for vegetarians. I thought this place might have been vegan or vegetarian, but have the offshoot type things for a meat eater such as myself. That was not the case. So what I decided to order was the goatless Greek salad to start off with. Now, goatless Greek salad, I think they call it the goatless Greek salad because it didn't call it the goatless Greek salad because it didn't have a goat in it, okay? And I've never eaten a salad that had a goat in it. I think it means, there was no cheese because in a Greek salad there's usually feta cheese, however you say that fucking cheese. So anyway, I get the goatless Greek salad, and it was pretty damn good salad. I'll give it credit. And then I asked, and then when it came time to order, I ordered the mole bowl. Now, don't ask me what the mole bowl was, because I don't even know what mole is to this day, but I ate it. And if it had been a religious restaurant, it would have been the holy moly bowl. And one of the things that comes in the mole bowl is plantains. Now, a plantain this is what was explained to me, a plantain is just like a banana, except you don't eat it raw, you have to cook it. And so the mole bowl, or if we're in a religious place, the holy moly bowl, came with plantain in it. And so I'd already asked my wife what the plantain was, and when the waiter asked me what I wanted and if I wanted a plantain in there, I looked at him straight in the face and deadpanned, I'm a plantain activist and that I did not believe in the harming of plantains, and that I actually had a protest coming up. And the guy actually believed me, and he apologized for offering me to eat the plantain. That's a shoot story. I ain't no plantain activist. I don't give a flying fuck about the plantain. I wish every plantain could live a long and healthy life until somebody picks you off a tree and then eats you. But anyway, it just didn't seem right to me to eat a mole bowl with a plantain, a cooked banana in it. So I opted to skip the plantain. My mole bowl came. I ate it, and yeah, it was okay. But as we left, I looked at the bar, and they had a couple of badass IPAs on draft. They had a pretty good beer selection for a damn vegan organic restaurant. So swig a beer to the vegan restaurant. The salad, the goatless Greek salad that I ate was pretty damn good. I can't say that I enjoyed the mole bowl that much. So next time I go with my wife to the vegan restaurant, yeah, I'll go again. Guy do anything to get a blowjob, won't he? I'm not going to get the mole bowl. On another little bullshit story, I'm in my camper out here at work, right? And I got a big screen TV. That's a big-ass TV here in my damn living room across from my couch. And I got a little smaller screen there in my bedroom. Now, I really ain't got time to watch TV because I'm so busy out here doing all my bullshit. But when I do watch TV, you know, I like to watch football. I like to watch pro wrestling. Well, it was Sunday night the other night, and I was ready to watch the football game, Sunday Night Football. So I turned my TV on, and True Detective is on. And I can't change the channel. For some reason, I'm pointing a damn DirecTV remote right at the TV, and it will not change channels. And I pushed guide, I pushed menu, I pushed every button you could push on that motherfucker, and went through all the little toggle settings on that remote control, and it was working perfectly. The batteries were charged up, and the TV would not change channels. And then when I went in the back, that TV was stuck on CNN. Same thing. I could not change the channels. I went through this whole process for about an hour, going back through the steps to try to figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong. Then over to the right, there's all the cabinets where I got all my stuff put in. I said, well, surely there's got to be a receiver on this motherfucker somewhere. And so I'm looking through all the cabinets, don't find a receiver, and I'm thinking, well, I can't believe this shit. So I missed the football game. The next day, when we showed up for work, the first day of filming, I said, hey, man, could you have Colin come over here and show me how to use this goddamn TV because I can't get this motherfucker to change channels. So Colin comes over, and he says, oh, okay, does the remote control have batteries in it? And I said, yep. I turned the TV on like a hot shot. I said, here, go ahead and change the channel. Well, Colin looked over to the left at the microwave, pointed the remote control over there, and changed the channels at the blink of an eye. What they had done was mount the Samsung DVD player, the LG TV's mounted on the wall, and the DirecTV receiver is above the microwave. I've used that microwave about 50 times since I've been here in this goddamn camper and didn't see the fucking controls for the television right there. If that had been a snake, like at the Broken Skull Ranch, the motherfucker would have bit me right in the fucking head. You talk about feeling stupid. You know, I ain't the smartest motherfucker in the world, but I mean, in a goddamn second, I said, dude, Jesus Christ, dude. I said, I can't fucking believe it. I felt like a goddamn idiot. So anyway, now my TV works like a fucking charm. I watched Monday Night Football last night while I was going over my emails, picking out a few questions to answer for you guys before the fucking internet shut down on me, and I had to go into town and use the ladies' internet just like I just told you. So, god damn, you talk about a pain in the ass, man. I don't know how I did not see where that sumbitch was to change the channel, because I kept going through the same old fucking process, and it was just the goddamnest thing I'd ever seen in my whole life. Here's one for you. I was going through my email the other day, and found someone had sent me a picture of a tingle tip vibrator. Now, this was a whole gimmick ripoff of my Cuchitronic 6000 vibrator from the toothbrush story that I told you guys about 100 episodes ago. I bought an electric toothbrush one day because my wife made me go buy an electric toothbrush because our dentist said we needed to use one that vibrates to get all the shit off our teeth. Now, that's been a couple of years, and I don't use an electric toothbrush. I use a manual toothbrush, the kind you hold in your right hand. With your left hand, you put toothpaste on it, and then you manually scrub up and down all your choppers in your mouth. But my wife uses that electric toothbrush to get all the plaque off her damn teeth. And she's got, hey man, I got some good hygiene. But my wife's got real good hygiene. So anyway, but someone sent me a picture of the Tingle Tip vibrator, which is based on my idea of the Cuchitronic 6000. And so I think I'm deserving of some royalties. I'm calling my lawyers, and I'm seeing if I need to go into a lawsuit to get my royalties from said product. Speaking of things that are in the bathroom, I was just in there the other day taking care of business, and I noticed, see, this is a trailer that they use on movie sets, and that bathroom is also used as a makeup room. So they had a paper towel holder right there in the bathroom. Now, think about that, folks. A paper towel holder in the bathroom. What an absolutely brilliant idea. Because dig this. We always think about paper towels that are, automatically for kitchen use. But wherever there's water, there's a need for a paper towel. So how many houses have you been to in your life? Or what about your house? Do you have a paper towel holder in your bathroom? We don't. I've never lived in a house my entire life that had a paper towel holder in the bathroom. Now, all these years later, I think, how ingenious is this to have something like this in the bathroom? Think about it. You wash your hands, you get your paper towel, you dry them, go on down the road. You always have that extra bathroom for guests, and you always get that one towel. So everybody does their business, they wash their hands, everybody's using the same towel. Well, if you had a paper towel holder up there, you wouldn't have to share that towel with anybody and get any of their dick or pussy germs on your hands. Because, even though you're washing the germs off, you kind of wipe them on the towel to some degree because the soap ain't killing all the germs, and it would be a very hygienic thing to do. So don't get me wrong. I don't have any grand illusions of going back to 316 Gimmick Street and saying to my wife, hey, Kristen, I was out at the Broken Skull Challenge thinking about it, and I figure since we got 2.5 bathrooms, I should go get 3 paper towel holders so we can have paper towel holders in all the bathrooms. I don't think she's going to buy that. For some reason, somehow, some way, I don't think my wife is going to buy that. And you got to think about it like this. Worst comes to worst. If you did put a paper towel holder in your bathroom, if you're in there doing your business and you run out of toilet paper, presto, you got a paper towel right there. That means you ain't got to waddle to the next bathroom and wipe your ass. But see, now think about this now, folks. Herein lies the drama. Picking a paper towel when you're buying it for normal use, I tend to go the macho route and pick Brawny, because it sounds cool. But, Bounty's right up there in the running too. But here's the thing. I don't know if I really want some rough-ass Brawny up in the crack of my ass over there by my vitals, because this may indeed, only in an emergency situation, of course, be a job for Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. So that's another thing to think about next time you go purchase some paper towels, if you decide to put a paper towel holder in your bathroom. And you heard it here first, and you heard it here on the Steve Austin Show. Last but not least, before I get to your questions, I was driving down the streets of Los Angeles, California today, running some errands, and I pulled up to a red light. As I was coming up to this red light, now, take into consideration, this is Los Angeles, this is a big city. This is a red light where there's 3 lanes. There's 3 cars to pick from that I'm going to be behind. There was a Nissan truck that had a rack on top for work tools. There was a Toyota Prius, and there was a Ford Fusion. Now, here's the art, and tell me if you guys have done this as well. It's picking the fastest car off the line. When you're rolling up, you're going to be behind one of them because all the lanes are filled. Who's going to be the first one off the line? Is it going to be the guy in the work truck or the Toyota Prius or the Ford Fusion? I took a gamble. I went behind the Toyota Prius. My mistake. Turns out the Nissan work truck with the rack hauled ass like he had an emergency 911 to go to. The Toyota Prius was up there texting on his goddamn smartphone, so I had to get on my horn and honk at the son of a bitch. And the Ford Fusion kind of pussyfooted around, and he ended up getting down the road pretty quick. But it's always interesting when you pull up that red light, whether it's 2 lanes or 3 lanes or whatever. Obviously, if it's 1 lane, you ain't got a fucking choice. But when I'm in a hurry, here's the thing. I'm a time fanatic. I got places to go. I got things to do. And they might not be the most important things to do, but when I want to go do something, I want to get there in an expedient fashion. I don't sit there and lollygag and look at my goddamn iPhone searching for messages, emails, or any kind of affirmation that I am a global icon and a national treasure, or for security. I'm there to look at that red light, and when that goddamn red light turns green, mister, I'm on the gas. After I look both left and right to see and make sure that the other cars have stopped. Because in any situation, folks, whether you're in Los Angeles or BFE, bumfuck Egypt, in some little shithole town, when that light turns green, you must still look left or right before you press the gas pedal, because some crazy motherfucker driving who knows what might have their face down in their iPhone, drunk or whatever, just not even paying attention, totally oblivious, and run that red line and T-bone your ass and fuck you up. My point is, be safe when you drive, but I'm quick off the line. We were driving somewhere the other day. I think it was to pick up one of the dogs at the vet, and the traffic was moving so damn slow that I was just like wondering what in the flying shit is going on with the universe. Do people not have things that they really want to do? Because it's almost like the Sunday drivers. People that are just out lollygagging around for the fuck of it, man. When I get into a vehicle, and I'm not breaking any speed limits. I'm not talking about hauling balls through town and doing a bunch of crazy shit like back when you was a teenager and you was learning how to drive and that's what you did. I'm talking about responsible shit, just running errands and doing work. I got things to do, man. I ain't got time to wait and fuck around, man. And so I don't get it. I just don't get it. And it's like, are these people not destination-oriented? I wish you guys would send me some comments on questions at steveaustonshow.com, because I'd like to know that I'm not the only guy in a hurry. And sometimes when I talk about being type A, yeah, I am in a hurry. But I relax, and I'm a very courteous driver and very safe driver. And all the years that I drove up and down the road, the millions of miles or however many miles I drove, were without incident, because I paid attention to the traffic laws. But, man, make no mistake about it, when we could speed, we hauled ass. And when we got into town, we got business to take care of, man. Typical day on the road. You get in a goddamn airplane, you fly, and you hit a town. You get all your bags down there at the baggage claim, and then you jump on a bus, and they drop you off at the damn rent-a-car place. Hopefully, because you've been around long enough and smart enough, you're a gold card holder and you just go directly to your car. If not, you're going to stand in a line and clusterfuck and wait on your car behind a line of people. You get in your car, you load up all your boys that you decided to travel with, you put all your shit in the trunk, and then you get on down the road. And you're probably going to stop at Denny's, and then you can go get a tan, and then you can go get to the gym, and then you can go to the building, and then it's time to get on down the road to the next town. Or you're going to go to the hotel and, wait till daylight to drive and go the next morning. My point is, there's always a mission, and it involves some type of cohesion and some type of adherence to timely appearances at these different places in order to be at work on time. So these people that lollygag around on time, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. If they just got checks coming in the mailbox and they don't give a flying fuck, I guess that's what they're doing. But nonetheless, my name is Steve Austin. You're listening to the one-man clusterfuck, coming to you straight from Agua Dulce, California, out here, filming the Broken Skull Challenge. And we've had some badass fucking people out here in the last couple of days, and we're just getting started. And my voice is a little bit hoarse from barking orders, directions, and telling these cats what to do, but they're representing in a very high fashion. So I think we're going to be real proud of this show when it busts out of the gate on CMT later on this year, I believe. And Hershey's sleeping her ass off. She could give two shits. I got my Carhartt jacket. Anybody out there got a Carhartt jacket? Oh, Teddy got me this Carhartt. Teddy, goddammit, you damn near got me in a place to sell the damn ranch because you sent a video to my wife and rattlesnakes. But, oh, Teddy got me a Carhartt jacket last year. And the one I had, I probably had 10 or 15 years. But that's something, it's straight up, quite frankly. It's the tan color one. It had so many damn blood stains and stuff on it from gutting deer. I looked like a mass murderer in that summit. So Teddy got me the off-colored tweed one or gray one, whatever you call this color. And when you get a Carhartt jacket, that's a jacket you're probably going to have for the rest of your life because the summits are hard to wear out. It's a damn good brand. So any of you city slickers out there want a damn good jacket, this ain't no endorsement for Carhartt, but they make a good jacket. I got it laid out here on Hershey so she can sleep on it when I'm down doing my things. It always makes her feel a little bit more secure when she's sleeping on Daddy's jacket. But anyway, hey, I'm coming right back after I take a pause for the calls and a word from our sponsors. I'm going to answer the questions that you guys sent in, the questions at SteveAustinShow.com. I appreciate you bearing through the clusterfuck and appreciate you downloading the Steve Austin Show. And while you're at it, subscribe to the summit so you ain't got to worry about a goddamn thing and it shows up automatically. Family friendly on Tuesday, off the hooks on Thursday with the Unleashed Show, and my Twitter account is Steve Austin BSR. And before I go into a break, I also want to mention one other thing. Just signed a little deal over there with ProWrestlingTees.com. Y'all have been asking me for Steve Austin shirts and Broken Skull Ranch shirts all the damn time, and I fell out of business with the other people who was handling the merchandise for Broken Skull Ranch. I'm going to have the T-shirts up and running at ProWrestlingTees.com for the Steve Austin stuff and Broken Skull Ranch. And we'll have all the shirts that I wore in the Broken Skull Challenge last year. I get questions all the time. Steve, when you going to get your goddamn merch up? Well, the merch is going to be up. It's going to be at ProWrestlingTees.com. Check it out on Monday. I'm coming right back with a pause for the cause for a word from the sponsors.
He's defeated every champion from every organization the sport of mixed martial arts has ever seen. And now Chael Sonnen's on podcast1.com.
Hi, this is Chael Sonnen, and I've got a brand new podcast. It's called You're Welcome. I'm going to talk about the stuff that excites me, the stuff that ticks me off, and we're even going to have some very great guests. Consider this your VIP pass to enlightenment.
Download a new episode of You're Welcome with Chael Sonnen every Wednesday at podcast1.com. That's podcastone.com. Steve Austin Unleashed.
All right, everybody, here we go. It's round two. I hope you guys enjoyed those bullshit stories. And they actually happened, whether they was exciting or not. I can't say that every single day of my life is total, pure, 100% adrenaline excitement. That's called life. Shit happens in life, and some of it's boring, some of it's good. But anyway, here's one. It's come from Johnny B. over in Portland, Oregon. He says, hey, Steve, I heard you challenge Cesaro. What if you did a whole WWE Superstar Challenge, past and present? Pit superstars up against each other from either past or present rosters and have them run your course at the Broken Skull Challenge and see who can make it. Might make for some good TV, brother. Just an idea. Anyways, keep up the audio whoop-ass. Now, here's one for you. The WWE Superstars at the Broken Skull Challenge. Y'all smell that? I smell money. Here's the thing. The WWE schedules on their superstars is so intense and so severe, and those guys are beating their bodies up so much, I think it would be hard for them to come out here to the ranch and do battle, much less have time to do battle. And these guys out here and these gals out here are going head-to-head, and they're going 110% hard. So it would be an interesting day at the office to see the WWE Superstars at the Broken Skull Challenge. That would be a damn good season. Will it ever happen? I don't think so. But I always talk about, I get a lot of questions. People ask me, is anybody on that roster you think could beat the Skull Buster? And Cesaro's name always comes to my mind because he's such a good athlete, and so does Seth Rollins, because I know he's big into CrossFit and probably would have the athletic skills. That being said, they'd have to go through 3 rounds of head-to-head competition to get there. So there's no gimmies out here at the Broken Skull Ranch. If you want something out here, you must take it. If not, it will be taken from you. And that's the bottom line. Swig a beer to Cesaro and all the guys in the WWE and the gals who are doing their thing up and down the road, entertaining people and trying to put asses in seats. All right, here we go. We got a question from Dan coming from the UK. My question is, on the way to the ring, you got into the BMF walk. And watching many pay-per-view events and matches, I always notice you shouting and talking. I've always been interested to know what you're actually saying. Can you shed any light on it? Well, Dan, you'll notice sometimes, when I was talking trash, it was more in a heel mode. Like when we watched the WrestleMania 17 match the other day and I did my commentary on it, when I was talking about that entrance, that was just straight up calm, cool, collected. I knew where I was going. Wasn't trash talking any. I'd been reinvigorated during that whole build, but that was one of them deals where, it was just straight. My entrance fit the mood. I knew what I was going down to do, and the people were lit up, excited to see me. And I never like to give any type of total reaction as far as arms up or recognition until I get in that ring, and that's when the photo ops start. Now, sure, I'll recognize and cuss and motherfuck sometimes while I'm walking down there, but I'm throwing down that swagger. I'm throwing down that confidence. I'm sending out a message. And I always tell, like I told Jim Ross in the Austin 316 Uncensored video, walk into that ring, you send a message to your opponent. And if you're lollygagging around, probably means you ain't serious and you're not taking the task at hand seriously. But with that BMF walk, it sent out a message that I'm coming out ring to stomp a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. Okay, now we know what the business is. It's a work. But you're letting that crowd know that you're going down there to do business. And in a world of make-believe, in a world that is a work, people still want to believe, so you let them do that, and you play that card, and you play into that believability factor, because sometimes, you still can suspend disbelief. Everybody wants to, they know what's going on, but they want to buy in. So the better you are at letting them buy in, the better out it turns out to be. But in regards to answer your question, sometimes when I was talking to trash, it was all like, most of the things I was saying, yeah, you got that shit right. Oh, you got that right, motherfuckers. Here we go. It was just kind of that verbal pep talk, and it was purely what I feel when that music hit and that crowd started going. It's like, shit's on, man, and I'm on fire like a motherfucker and ready to rock this place. And that was always my take on the business. It's pro wrestling. Fuck you. We're going to have a good time. And that trash talk, man, especially as a heel. I had a mean streak and I was a bad motherfucker. And that's the way I expressed it. Not very family friendly these days. But if you put Stone Cold now walking down that ramp, yeah, I wouldn't be motherfucking. It'd probably be toned down a little bit. That BMF walk would still be there. And people would fear me once that bell rung. Anyway, but that's what I was doing, dude. Talking shit and living the part and being in the moment. Here's one. Steve, I'm a huge fan. Keep up the podcast. The reason I'm writing you is I'm a young aspiring wrestler with plans to attend Lance Storm's training school. I'm getting my degree in biomedical engineering as a backup plan, but I would like your advice on breaking into the wrestling business. I'm about 6 feet tall and 260 pounds, so I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm not the smallest guy either. I was wondering if you could give me any wrestling advice. By the way, what do you think of the name Quinn Fox? Thanks, Quinn from Indianapolis, Indiana. Well, first of all, let's go down this question here. If you're going to attend Lance Storm's training school, you done picked a good place to learn how to wrestle. Lance will teach you everything you need to know. It will be up to you to get on-the-job training and get the reps and the experience after that. But you're going to have a damn good base and a damn good foundation by going to Lance's school. So you made a good choice there. With respect to getting your degree in biomedical engineering as a backup plan, you're a smart motherfucker. Are you sure that you want to get in the business of pro wrestling? I don't know what a biomedical engineer is, but it sounds good. So if that's your backup plan, that's a damn good backup plan. And that piece of paper, that commitment that you put in to get that piece of paper will open a lot of doors for you if the road to professional wrestling does not work out for you. Now, with respect to you being 6 feet tall and 260 pounds, dude, that's pretty much damn near what I was. 6'1", about 255 in my fighting days. So, yeah, you're not the biggest guy and you ain't the smallest guy. That's probably damn near the perfect size in a pro style right now. If anything, I'd say an inch or two in height would be cool, but that ain't going to happen. But at 6 feet tall, 260, damn near perfect size. And when I talk about perfect size on a pro wrestler, my prototype for that is the Ric Flair model. Because Ric Flair, he wasn't all jacked up, but had some good jacks on him. You can tell he spent some time in the gym, but he could work with the little guys, and it was believable. And he could work with the big guys, and it was believable. So, Ric Flair was kind of that perfect pro wrestler type. And, with that being said, I mean, you look at Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, almost mirror images of each other, a little bit more athleticism on the part of Shawn Michaels. But, those guys weren't the biggest guys in the world, but those guys were both superstars that could work their ass off and wasn't that big. So, but believable and big. And look what Daniel Bryan, he's big as a minute. Look how big he got over before his neck problems. So you're right in the pocket there at 6 feet 260. In regards to the name Quinn Fox, if you can get that name over and it becomes something, then it'll be a cool name just because you got it over. In and of itself, it doesn't jump off the page at me. Just like Ice Dagger, Fang McFrost, Otto Von Ruthless. But again, a name is not going to define or make you. You will make or define the name. So if you're worthy of getting over and can, people will jump on the Quinn Fox bandwagon, and that's how I feel about that. But then again, you always look at the sum of all the parts. Steve Austin, by itself in the wrestling ring, didn't work. And I started off with Steve Williams. And then stunning Steve Austin. I couldn't put all the pieces together. When I came up with the Stone Cold Steve Austin, that's when it clicked with regards to pro wrestling. Now, as just Steve Austin, I'm fine and dandy and don't need the Stone Cold name. Now, will I always be Stone Cold? Yeah, but I don't go around advertising myself as Stone Cold. I'm Steve Austin. So I try to come up with something a little bit that goes or puts a little salt and pepper on top of that Quinn Fox. I appreciate you sending in the question there from Indianapolis, Indiana. All right, here we go. Here's a question. It comes from Ricardo Mina. He says, hey, hello there, Mr. Austin. Thank you for all the great childhood memories, and I still cherish to this day. I got two questions for you. Well, one regards the Smoking Skull belt, and I wondered whose idea it was. Let's cover that one right now. That was the Road Warriors' idea. I've answered that question before on the show. I was talking with the Road Warriors one day, and they said, hey, man, you ought to have your own belt. You don't need a world championship. So that's how that one came about. I don't want to beat a dead horse.